We had always known the house had secrets. My sister Emily and I grew up listening to the whispers of the old mansion, each creak and groan in its wooden frame spinning stories in our young minds. When our parents passed away unexpectedly, the house became ours. We moved in reluctantly, more out of duty than desire, but soon the whispering walls beckoned our curiosity beyond control. The first oddity presented itself during the winter. We had decided to renovate the decrepit kitchen, a place where our mother's warmth had once filled the air with the aroma of baked bread and hearty soups. One evening, while prying loose the old cabinets, I found a small, worn leather notebook tucked behind a rotting plank. Its pages were filled with my mother's neat handwriting, detailing strange occurrences and unusual noises she had recorded over the years. The entries started innocuously enough, missing items, footsteps in the night. But as I flipped further, the entries grew darker. She wrote of voices echoing through the walls, glimpses of shadowy figures, and the sense of being watched. Emily and I read through the notebook together, our unease growing with every page. "We need to find out what's behind these walls," Emily declared, her voice a mix of fear and determination. Reluctantly, I agreed. Armed with tools and flashlights, we began our exploration in the basement. The musty air clung to our lungs as we navigated the cluttered space, searching for any signs of a hidden passage or secret room. Hours passed with no success, until Emily's flashlight beam caught something peculiar, a seam in the stone wall, barely noticeable under the grime. With a crowbar, we pried at the seam until the stones gave way, revealing a dark, narrow passageway. The air that wafted out was stale and cold, sending shivers down my spine. We squeezed through the opening, our flashlights casting eerie shadows on the damp walls. The passage led us to a small hidden chamber. At first, it appeared empty, but a closer inspection revealed markings on the walls, intricate symbols and phrases in a language neither of us recognized. In the center of the room was a worn wooden chest. With trembling hands, I lifted the lid, revealing its contents: old photographs, letters, and a strange blackened key. The photographs depicted our ancestors, but as we flipped through them, we noticed something unsettling. Each photograph showed the family members with eyes blacked out, replaced by crude drawings of hollow, empty voids. The letters spoke of a curse, a darkness that had plagued our family for generations, hidden away to prevent it from consuming us all. As we examined the key, a faint whisper echoed through the chamber. It grew louder, the words unintelligible but filled with malice. Emily's flashlight flickered and died, leaving us in near darkness. The whispering grew into a cacophony of voices, surrounding us, pressing in closer and closer. Panicked, we grabbed the chest and fled back to the basement, sealing the passage behind us. We collapsed on the floor, gasping for breath. The voices finally silenced. Exhausted but unable to rest, we brought the chest upstairs, determined to understand its significance. The key, we discovered, fit an old locked door on the third floor of the mansion, a door we had never opened. With a sense of dread, we approached it, the key cold and heavy in my hand. As it turned in the lock, the door creaked open, revealing a room untouched by time. Dust motes floated in the stale air, and the faint scent of decay lingered. In the center of the room stood a large, ornate mirror. Its surface was dark and tarnished, reflecting only shadows. As we stepped closer, the mirror began to clear, revealing not our own reflections, but a different room entirely. A room that mirrored ours in every detail except for one horrifying difference. The room in the mirror was filled with figures, shadowy and indistinct, their hollow eyes watching us. They moved closer to the glass, their expressions twisted with malice and despair. One figure, more distinct than the others, reached out, its hand pressing against the surface from the other side. A chill ran through us as we realized the figure bore a striking resemblance to our mother. We backed away, but the figures did not retreat. They pressed closer, their whispers growing louder, echoing the voices we had heard in the hidden chamber. Emily grabbed my arm, her eyes wide with terror. "We need to leave," she whispered urgently. As we turned to flee, the door slammed shut, trapping us in the room. The mirror's surface rippled, and the figures began to emerge, stepping out of the glass and into our reality. We were surrounded, their hollow eyes fixed on us, their whispers filling our minds with a terror we had never known. Desperate, I grabbed the chest, hoping it held some clue to our escape. Inside, amidst the photographs and letters, was a single sheet of paper with a simple incantation. With no other options, I began to recite the words, my voice trembling. The figures recoiled, their forms flickering, and as I continued, they began to fade, their whispers growing fainter. The final words of the incantation left my lips, and the figures vanished, the room falling silent once more. The mirror shattered, the shards scattering across the floor. The door creaked open, and we stumbled out, our hearts pounding with relief and fear. We knew we couldn't stay in the mansion any longer. We packed our belongings and left that very night, vowing never to return. As we drove away, the house loomed behind us, its secrets buried once more. But we knew the darkness we had uncovered would haunt us forever. In the years that followed, Emily and I never spoke of what we had found behind the walls. The memories lingered, a constant reminder of the terror that lurked just beyond the surface of our reality. And sometimes, in the dead of night, I can still hear the whispers, calling me back to the house that will forever remain a place of nightmares.